Hello patrons, it's Korben from KorbenTech, and I'm thrilled to see you again for a new video. We're in a festive period, but that's no reason to stop tinkering. Today I'll be discussing file synchronization with a tutorial on a tool you may know as Syncthing. So sync for synchronization, thing for thing. In fact, it is a continuous file synchronization tool that allows you to synchronize documents, files, movies, music, anything you want, between two or more computers. All this in real time and secure, so if you want, it's like Dropbox, iCloud, that kind of stuff, but private, completely private. Nothing on cloud, nothing out of machines, all encrypted, obviously, as I said, relies on open protocol for secure data transmission. It's open source and very cool. What's even cooler is that it's available on all machines. Whether you have an iMac, a Mac with macOS, a Linux, a Windows, FreeBSD, or even an Android smartphone, and it integrates with your OS without any problem. So I'm sharing my screen with you, we can watch it together. So this is the Syncthing website, you can find it at syncthing.net. Limited content on site, documentation, forums, code available. Interested in download, go to download, choose operating system. For instance, select macOS ARM version. Be cautious, command line tool. Syncthing is a command line tool, but community promotes various graphical interfaces. The interface for macOS is referred to as Syncthing macOS. So if I go on it, on this project we can see it's them who developed it. Here, but then if I click here on the community contributions, I have a small doc page that actually shows me graphical interfaces for all the operating systems you have. We have cross-platform, probably a Java thing. Not visibly, it's C, a project called Syncthing Tray. It goes, in the taskbar, and it's compatible with Windows 10, 11, KDE, Linux, macOS, and more. Interesting. On Android, discussing it with you. Windows, an interface called Sync Treasure, not updated for a while, but here it is, resembling this. Why not? This is an interesting tool, the macOS version, because it will allow to integrate Syncthing into the macOS operating system, so we have it in the Finder, that kind of things. There are small interfaces for Linux and command line tools. There are web versions and all packages needed for Debian, Ubuntu, and possible installations in Docker. The Synology community also offers syncing in it, so in fact it doesn't matter what you use, whether it's a Synology, whether it's an ASCII-NAP, a Linux server, or a Mac OS. And of course now I have plenty of options on how I'm going to make this work, so I suggest that we first discover the basic version of Syncthing, and then if you want, we can play with a Docker version or something else. What's interesting is if you fear there's no interface, think again, even in basic version there is an interface. It's a web interface, so you launch the tool from the command line. Once launched, you have a UI that's usable by all without any problem. Got Syncthing for macOS, for Windows pretty much the same. You'll have a binary, an executable, and I'm going to launch the command line interface. Nothing special, I'm going to my directory, there you go, and I launch syncing. And there he starts enter command lines, well, indications let's say in the terminal. And what's funny is it didn't open in front of you, but there an interface opened. Keep it open, set it aside after launching. Directly arrive at Syncthing URL written as 127.0.0.1 on port 83.84, okay? Please confirm if this is correct. I have a little pop-up that asks me if I want statistics, that kind of thing. So now you can send stats to Syncthing, it's anonymous, it's to contribute to the project if you want to bring your own contribution. I authorize sending or refuse, it doesn't matter. You need to have cookies enabled in your browser for it to work. There, first thing he tells me, authenticate to GUI, set username and password. For now, though he detected I was in French, there are options for all languages. Logged in directly, click on configuration, set password, control panel, choose friendlier name, put iMac, minimum free disk space to store files, keep 30% of disk space, expressed in gigabytes, API key, open software, call in other tools, generate and change key as desired. The key is available because it is an open software, and it can be used in other tools through an API. Users have the flexibility to generate and modify the key according to their preferences. Furthermore, it'll be altered post-tutorial. We've seen anonymous reports, auto updates, switch to stable updates, preliminary updates, no update, or only stable versions. Stick to stable versions. We have preferences for creating shares, but don't touch them for now. At GUI level, and this is where it gets interesting, it listens, it's on that I am, and there I can add users. I'll set a username and password. Here I can activate HTTPS if desired, and we can choose a light theme, dark theme, or the default theme. Haven't signed up yet, but we can see there's the connection tab. This is the port for syncing, we'll leave it as is. To limit machine speed, restrict flow rates, etc. The discovery is for other Syncthing machines to find your devices and ensure they don't push too much in terms of speed. You can reject devices and refuse shares. There you go, basically that's it. I'm going to record, and the first step is to create a shared folder to synchronize documents. I see I have one, it's called default folder. When I click on it, it has an ID called default. His path is user menu sync, which he created and I have here in my files. Currently empty. There you go. Type of sharing, sending and receiving, creates default folder if needed. What's interesting is that we can manage it and delete it if we want, and then we can add others. To add another folder, it opens a pop-up where I can specify if he wants to share docs with me. I will create a folder named docs. Or no, e.g. pics. Let's say I'll sync pics, could be fun. He'll generate an ID for me. So it's an ID for recognition, a key for auto recognition of the deer. On my machine it's called photo, but on another machine it could be called image. So it's not necessarily a key to use. On the other hand, the ID is what truly enables to locate the directory. There you go. And the path puts it in my directory. Home, if you want a photo, we have shares but no other members, machines, etc. Currently no shares to add, we'll create more members and machines later. We have stories of file preservation, that is to say if files are deleted, what happens? Is there a backup of deleted files or not? Maybe it goes in the trash, maybe it does versioning, but rather differential. Use an external version tracking system, think of Git, that kind of stuff. We'll say we throw them away, for example. And so here we can define that we will keep them for 30 days before completely deleting them, and we can specify a path where the deleted versions will be stored. If you leave it empty, it will use the hidden folder as there is a in front of st version inside. And then the purge, it checks every X seconds to perform an automatic purge. To exclude exclusion masks, we can add file types that we would not like to see in this sharing. So I'm thinking you know about the DS store, all these weird files that macOS can add or other operating systems can add. There, skip vids e.g. I don't think so. In the pic folder it seems logical. So when I say exclude, it excludes sync. You can still add videos to your directory, but they will not be synchronized with the other videos. So then, well, moving ahead, it's for advanced things, about attribute management, about sharing type, because here on Syncthing it's synchronization. When you put something in location A, it will synchronize with location B and vice versa. If you add a file in B, it will sync with A. But we can also create one-way shares, meaning if you add items in A, they will be copied to B, but if you add items in B, they won't go to A. Make folder only gets, e.g. from multiple machines, never sends. Well, there you have it, small things like that. To keep it simple, we see reception, choose percentage like before, order of file retrieval. In truth, it's better to leave it random because if you put many files, why start with letter A or smallest ones first, biggest ones first? Well, it's up to you. There you go, and I'm saving. Now I have a photo folder, not shared, but if I look in my directory, it's there, created. It's funny now, as I can buy devices. So I click here to add a device. Currently I don't have any because I haven't installed syncing elsewhere. We'll fix this, do it right away on a Windows machine. That's good, it's been a while since I started it. Here we go again on Windows, that's good, I'll show you. I get the binary from Syncthing website, download, decompress, there you go, same thing, and I have the application. So I'll just launch it. Since we're on Windows we have a warning, so I'll still run it. Downloaded from official site, no issue, no need to launch terminal, just allow, it launches app, not complex, good. Same here, asks if I want to share data and set up things, so I'll leave its name there, Windows Korben, very good. Same here, I enter a password, activate HTTPS and save, I refresh, now it tells me my connection is not private like before because I activated HTTPS, so I have to go to advanced and continue. The certificate is not genuine. Here I input my credentials. It's good, so now I'll create a new sharing. Like before for the photos, same process, I'll name it photo. Unfortunately, I have an ID, so now I need to specify the ID of the sharing I created earlier. I return to my Mac, I'm on my Mac, I'll close this, I have an ID here. It's C4GRMWVSSV, back to Windows where I'll enter the relevant ID. So C4GRMWVSSV, there you go, and I'm recording. Now I have two machines on the network. Don't worry if my wallpaper changes. It's normal, Windows changes wallpaper always. There, he's having fun. For now we're working, so I have plenty. Both machines on network, my Windows, my Mac, both on network. Very good. Now I can add a device like before, but now it detects it, tells me to select one of the closest models. Found my Mac, so I'll add it and name it Mac. There you go, saved, excellent. If I go to the other side, I go back to my macOS and add a device, I refresh the page, and there I have a kind of pop-up that tells me finally a message that tells me new device, the Windows device Korben asks to connect. Do you accept to add it to your list of known devices? So yes, I accept, go ahead, it detects the ID, it records it perfectly, so there you go. I have two devices connected to each other, they see and recognize each other. However, my folders are currently not shared. I can go to the Photos section, manage the sharing settings, and choose which members of my network have access. I can also add a password for encryption, but I won't do that now. Once I save the settings, my two folders will be connected. I can also share my default folder, Windows Korben. Now everything is set up and ready to go. Once machines see each other, we can add anything we want freely. No family photos, but plenty of screenshots here, that's all. It will serve as my test file for now. I'll take these pics there. Might not take all, we'll take a few. Gonna put them in my Dear, always locally, my photo Dear. There, I copy them into photos. They are copied into photos. I am very happy. And here for now, not much is happening, except that you see it has detected 29 files, totaling 1.21 megabytes. The file sizes are small. If I go back to Windows, tac, it's loading. I've been invited. Do you accept sharing on Windows? I'll say yes, share, okay. And there, we see behind, he syncs. Here, sync in progress. I accepted shares. It's syncing files. On my side, when I go here on my hard drive, I have user, and in Korben I have a folder. There you go, photo. And when I go inside, I find all my images. This is a basic usage of Syncthing, developed for synchronizing files between machines. Since it's bidirectional, deleting all files will be detected. Rescanning can be done by clicking on Rescan. He finds nothing inside. Everything is in a hidden directory containing the contents of the trash. There you go. And in the end, on my Mac, we'll see that everything's deleted too. There you go. In the small menu, I didn't show, if machines can't see each other, when adding, you showed my ID here. You can copy this ID and send it to me. I remind you that we are on a decentralized system, which is peer-to-peer if you want, and it can allow files to be synchronized on machines on the same local network, like what we just did now, but also over the internet. You can have two machines not together on the same network if you share their ID as we just did. They don't need to be on the same network and they will still exchange files. Securely, always, but there you go. Overall, with free software, it does many tasks. Please externalize the documentation. There, it was a little demo, a little initiation. What is interesting here, in addition to the command line tools, because obviously you can imagine you can start doing scripts and things like that if you want. To start the server, to initiate syncs, create directories, etc., we can do anything. But what's interesting obviously is also firewall config, opening ports, ensuring synchronization is done well. Ports, 22,000, TCP, UDP. Uses QUIC protocol. More info on my website. Find details about QUIC on my website if you're looking for information. And then there is UDP. UDP ports are for broadcasting. It allows machines to discover each other. There is the possibility to create relay servers. So this is interesting. It means that if you have a machine that is not directly accessible by another, you can appoint a third-party server to act as a relay. So in fact, files from A will go to B and B will relay to C. Here, if A and C can't see each other, it can be interesting. So there you have it, and we obviously have the possibility to use proxies if you want, or SSH tunnels to create tunnels between machines and ensure a secure access point. Here, and for devs it's royal, there's everything you need too. Watch the cross-platform client Syncthing tray, which lets you integrate Syncthing into your OS. Screenshots visible here, no need to install as we have images. Essentially, it's a taskbar companion displaying sync, like a Dropbox or OneDrive client would. Same functionality, just a smaller, more convenient tool. To see what's happening, we can manage connected devices, directories, same thing but real physical software. I'm going back to my Mac to connect to my Synology. To show you here in the package center, I actually installed the community package repository. So if you want to install them, it's Synocommunity and it's packages synocommunity.com. Add it here, go to the settings up there, go to package source, add it. These are the packages provided by the community. There are lots and lots of community software on it. And if you open your eyes, you will see that there is Syncthing available. Images not loading, don't know why. There you go, install it, there you go, loaded. He is settling in. This allows synchronization of directories on your Synology with other computers, Linux, Windows, Mac, without using Synology software. It supports multi-machine, multi-OS environments, can work in command line, and offers integration flexibility. DS Store, DS File, and other similar tools facilitate synchronization, similar to Drumbox. It can be practical as you can imagine, downloading files locally on a Windows computer, placing them in the desired directory, and having them automatically copied to your NAS. This avoids the need to deal with NAS network shares and perform tedious tasks such as moving, going to the location, clicking, and accessing the shares. Now I'll open it and it opens the same interface as before. So right now I don't have a directory or any sharing in place. But I can still add devices, so there you go, I'm adding this one and that one, and then I'm going to create a little sharing. I will also call photo, so he puts it in folders 1, app data, syncing. We can put it elsewhere, but if you want. So there, just put a little tilde. If on a Mac, it's option N. And under Windows, I believe, off the top of my head, it's Alt-GR and the 2 key. There you go, Alt-GR. I also provide the code for my directory, which is C4GRMWVVVSSV, and as for the shares, I will allow both machines to access them as well. Thank you for your cooperation. So I should have put it elsewhere because I see that this directory already contains things, so I'll delete the folder and redo it. It's the root folder with existing keys and shared items. Put the tilde back for the root, but this time add a directory behind photo to avoid vomiting all at the root unnecessarily. Save, there you go, I don't have the little error messages from earlier, and about sharing because I haven't activated sharing either. Okay, I'm recording, everything is synchronized, everything is shared, this is all on the NAS. It's possible to put Syncthing on all your computers, servers, whatever you want. All customers on Earth, possibility to synchronize as you want in all directions. So now we could say no longer need for Dropbox, no longer need for OneDrive, no longer need for any file storage in the cloud. All you need is just a little disk space and then your machines with which you want to synchronize your files. I hope you enjoyed this demo. I won't push it further because there are advanced uses that would be interesting to explore. But for those who share files with Dropbox or do more touchy stuff with AirClone or this kind of tools, here you have an alternative that is really easy to use, really easy to install and deploy for basic file synchronization. I'm not specifically referring to backup or similar things, it's to sync files and make them always accessible on all your computers, all your machines. This is what we do with iCloud for Mac users or OneDrive for Windows users. There you go, I hope you liked it. Wish you a great holiday season. Thank you for your support, dear Patreon. If you're not on Patreon watching this video, year-end holidays likely passed, as you have the video late since you're not subscribed. If you want to join us, get videos before everyone else, and support me, that's the main goal of the operation. Support so I can make videos, articles, show you cool things, etc. Don't hesitate to ask if you have ideas, I'd be glad to explore with you. In summary, if interested, go to patreon.com/Korben for info. Wish you a great week and see you soon. Hello.